Killing someone in America can be punished with life in prison or the death row. So if the action of murdering a neighbor can send you to jail, then why should the action of murdering an innocent, defenseless baby not have the same results? Abortion has become a very controversial topic, as many people believe it is the mother's right to choose if she would like to dispose of the baby or not. Although the mother does have control over her body, as does everyone else, she does not have control over a baby's life. A great argument regarding abortion is when does the fetus actually become a human being? Depending on what side of the fence you are, you might have different opinions about the exact time period that the fetus becomes a human. According to Livestrong, pro-choice people view the fetus as an individual under construction, and yet not a human being. They do disagree about when in that construction process becomes a baby. That transmission might occur, for example, at a certain milestone in brain development. The earliest age the fetus can survive outside the mother's womb, which is currently 20 to 24 weeks, or at the moment of birth. The fetus should be considered human from day one. It is observed that pro-choice people have to go to all these kinds of guidelines to determine when a baby actually becomes alive. Basically, at the end of the day, a fetus has a life and therefore should not be killed. It does not matter what kind of development the fetus has been through as it becomes a human being. Even though the idea of abortion exists, it does not mean it's an option to take somebody's life. Abortion is murder because at the end of the day, you are terminating somebody's life. Somebody that could have grown up to be our very own president, or could have discovered the cure for cancer, or could have made a great member of society. Abortion is not right, and it's not fair for the mother to have the decision of whether their baby lives. Abortion is just as bad as murder. Abortion is murder, if not worse, because it is allowed and sought out to be a good thing instead of a bad thing. Having a baby can be very challenging, challenging thing, and most people prefer to be stable financially before having a baby. Pregnancy can be a very scary thing for many, especially if you're very young, have financial problems, or just do not wish to have a kid. According to Women's Center, 50% of U.S. women obtaining abortions are younger than 25. Women aged 20 to 24 obtain 33% of all abortions, and teenagers obtain 17%. That is why abortion seems to be an option to so many people who desire to get rid of the baby. However, according to the American perspective, 94 women have regret having an abortion. That is essentially more than half who wish they had not taken their baby's life away. The same website released the results of a survey where post-abortive women declared that 60% of their lives have worsened because of such decision. 28% attempted suicide and 31% experienced suicidal feelings. The statistics clearly show that the mothers also suffer afterwards. They have to live life with the decision of having done what they've done, and have to be left wondering what could have been if they had kept the baby. Abortion can be seen as a solution by many. However, if anything is in the beginning, so many other problems for the woman who had an abortion, her significant other, and people that surround her life. And other to prevent babies' life from being taken away from their own mothers, it is wise to inform our community about it. 8% of women who have had abortions have either used some kind of method of birth control and are either poor, black, Hispanic, or less educated, according to the Gutsch-Matcher Institute. A smart solution to decreasing the amount of abortions going on would be to make people aware, especially in places where people have a low income, about being smart about having physical relationships. Many people, especially in underdeveloped countries, have lacked the knowledge of safe sex. Prevention is key to not having unwanted pregnancies, because it helps less people have abortions as an option. As stated before, abortions can take a toll on women and can cause them to become depressed and develop all kinds of issues later on in life. According to After Abortion, an average of 8 years after their abortions, married women were 138% more likely to be at risk of clinical depression compared to similar women who carried their unintended first pregnancies to term. Clinical depression can also link to many other problems and can cause problems in marriage, problems with family and friends, and relationships. Live news release information regarding drug usage and depression can be linked. According to Live News, a May 2010 study put out by researchers at the University of Michigan found women that have had abortions are 4 times likely to abuse drugs, alcohol, or who carry their pregnancies to term. Women who do abuse alcohol and other drugs have to try to do it to feel better, forget about such action. Having an abortion can have everlasting scars and cause many to rely on harmful substances to release depression, anxiety, and anger. However, abuse of drugs can only worsen things and cause more problems to develop in life. Although abortion clinics promise to be safe and even that there will be no further complications, abortions are at high risk. A lot of things can go wrong, and in bad cases, it can cause for some women to never be able to have kids again. According to clinic quotes, compared to pregnant women who have had their babies, pregnant women who have aborted them were 3.5 times more likely to die in the following year, 1.6 times more likely to die of natural causes, and 6 to 7 times more likely to die of suicide, and 14 times more likely to die from homicide, and 4 times more likely to die of injuries related to accidents. It was also found that leading causes of abortion-related maternal deaths within a week of abortion have been caused from loss of blood. During the abortion process, a lot of things can go wrong and can even take your life. An infection could get so bad to the point where you can die, or the death from an abortion is not constant and it's rare, but it's all possible. The abortion can also change your body and leave your immune system not as well as it was before. Not all clinics may be strict on their cleaning, and there could be a big chance of contamination. Another risk is loss of blood. During an abortion, a lot of blood is lost, and it's important to make sure there's blood banks at the clinic. Overall, a lot of things can go wrong, and therefore abortions should not be an option. Abortions has a lot of issues that come with it, but the most important one to remember is it's morally wrong on every level. Medical Daily conducted a poll survey of 4,000 people ages 18 and older through all 50 states, and it found that 49% of Americans find having an abortion wrong. Abortion is wrong because it deprives the fetus from having a life, and it's not right to have it up to anyone, not even the mother or the baby should live or not. Some people who are in favor of abortion might describe a fetus as a coalition of cells. However, if anybody has taken any kind of science class, especially biology, they know that a cell is a living thing. If a fetus is made up of a bunch of cells, then therefore it's alive and it's a human being. Abortion laws should change in the future. There is no good in killing a baby just as much as there is not any good killing someone any other age. There should be a stop to abortion. It's not the mother's wish to keep the baby, then she should place her baby in adoption once the baby is born. Adoption is a great option because it allows babies to grow up and become kids and teenagers and get to experience life and grow up and be wherever they want to be in life instead of a dead baby with no future. Morally, physically, emotionally, and mentally, abortion is bad and has no positives. Abortion is both damaging to the baby and the mother who has life for the rest of her life knowing she murdered her own baby. Do y'all have any questions?
Why are you so passionate pro-life?
I think the reason I am is because growing up I had like 3 siblings, and being around them, like they're like my life. So it's very hard for me to understand, like, like one day I guess when I'm older I'll have a baby, and it's just such a wonderful gift from God, and it shouldn't be, baby is, again, a living thing, and it should not be aborted.
So, what do you think about the law where you have to have an ultrasound before you have an abortion?
I think it's a great law just because it gives moms especially, because sometimes the dads can be the ones pushing the woman to get an abortion, but especially moms, it gives you that connection to realize that there is something growing inside of you, and it is something very special, and it might change your mind depending on who you are. But yeah, it's a great law. I think so.
So what about in cases of rape?
I think in cases of rape, it is a tough one, but at the same time, if you don't decide to have a baby and you feel like you're not going to be able to, like, you know, deal with it, then again, adoption is a great thing. There's many people who can't have babies themselves and love to adopt and take care of foster kids. So, yeah. Any other questions? Great, thank you.